As promised, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I am so extra. Do you ever look at yourself sometimes and be like, girl, what are you doing? But you feel me? I think my brows was a little crazy. A little bit of brow guy. But anyways, we're back. And y'all know I got my good old handy dandy here today. Because we got some scripture. We got some scripture to apply. So I gave y'all my whole life update in the last video. With my new job, with my casa, with going back to the gym, all those good things. But I mentioned in my last video with my job that I had some kids that I just, it's a gnat in here. Oh, sorry guys. That gnat better not come back. That's all I gotta say. I hate bugs with a passion. I think y'all seen how I act with bugs in one of these videos. I think y'all did. Anyways, so I love my tier 2 kids. I do. I don't want to call them that, but I just want you guys to know who I'm referring to. So I have a set of kids, probably about 14, 15 kids. I don't necessarily see all of them because I'm still struggling to get them to come see me. I've tried every tactic, snacks, whatever reward that they want to get. It doesn't work for everybody. But I have been able to reel some in. And so I want to make up names for this. Just because I want you guys to get the drift and you guys got to get the whole aspect of the story. Because, like I said, earth realities turn to heavenly perspective. So I got to give y'all the real deal, too. I got to give y'all the real deal of how things panned out. So, I have this girl. We're going to name her, what are we going to name her? We're going to name her Gucci. I feel like that's so Gucci. Like, come on. I feel like we need that. No, I'm gonna name her Gucci. We're just gonna go with it because that's the first thing that I said. We're gonna go with Gucci. So Gucci's one of my students, and Gucci is a unique student. Gucci has her own personality. I can't go with Gucci because I feel like I'm saying it too much, and I already feel like it sounds weird. We're gonna go with We're gonna go with Tori. So I actually have a friend named Tori. So Tori, if you're watching this is not about you, but we're gonna name her Tori. So Tori was Tara. Y'all probably like, I'm losing you, girl. We're gonna go with Tara. So Tara's perfect. I know nobody named Tara. Actually, that was one of my therapist's name. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna ignore everything. Tara is going to be the name. So Tara's one of my students, and Tara's very unique. Tara has her own personality. Tara is one of a kind. There's nobody like Tara. I've never met anybody like Tara, and Tara has her own little get-go. So I've been seeing Tara for a couple of weeks. Tara has like this like unique attitude. It's an attitude that I feel like maybe people would put on stereotype on Black women, but it's some unique about it. I feel like being a Black woman, you can distinguish and you can see through these things, especially if you're in the mental health field. And so Tara has this attitude. She doesn't think she does anything wrong. You hear me? When I say nothing wrong, nothing wrong. Tara has admitted truth and has admitted her part in certain things. But 9 times out of 10, anytime Tara walks into my office, it's a problem with the teacher, and it's the reason the teacher is in the wrong, and she's just being mistreated. And so I have a problem with kids like this. I'm not going to say a problem, but kids like this make me just question a lot, because it's like, You think somebody's that consumed to make your life so... I get it, it happens in the world. But to make your life so miserable, a middle school kid, just for fun, just because they don't have anything else to do. Like, they have multiple classes with like 20 plus students in it, and you think that they really want to just come for you and make your life like a living hell. Like, you think that that's what they really want to do. And so I just sit and try to ponder these things and like talk these things through with the kids. Like, I'm telling you, baby, like, she doesn't have that much time. And so as I'm like trying to convey these things and get the students to understand, there's still this part of them that still fights against it. I didn't plug my mic in, so I'm gonna plug my mic in. All right, we're back for real. But yeah, they still think their way is the right way, and sometimes I just have to throw my hands up and throw in the towel. But that's gonna come later. But yeah, I just want to finish telling y'all about Tara because I have to build Tara up right so you guys can have an idea. So Tara, when I first met her, I feel like kids, so when I learned about middle school kids, they fill you out in their own like unique way. Like, they're gonna see just how cool you are and just how many things they can get by with, like, before you check them, before you say things to them about what they're saying, to like test to see if like you're good enough. And it also depends on, if you are correcting them, how you're coming at them. Like, if it's wrong, it's wrong. And like, you gotta rebuild your trust and explain yourself and of why you did what you did for them to even get it. Ultimately, they end up learning and knowing. For me personally, they decide to love that I don't even want to spend my time doing this with you, that I don't even like this kind of stuff. I don't like confrontation, period. So the fact that I have to do it is like are you really serious? But it's just taken a while for them to learn that with me. But I've learned for sure that one way they're going to see if you're a real person, if you're going to keep it real, they're going to test and try you with everything under the sun, every inappropriate comment. Not necessarily to you, but I mean cussing in front of you, like all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you do got to give them that space to not feel like they have to be a perfect being in front of you. But you're also not about to just sit and cuss up a storm in my face. You're not about to do that. So Tara had her time with me and telling me all these things, telling me things about her family, about her personally. And it was just all cool. Tara then started to get called up to the office a little bit more than usual. And so when I normally see my kids get into the office and like they're sitting outside, because I'm in the disciplinary office, and so I'm seeing all the kids come in, the teachers are sitting out of class who are just, their behavior is not it. And when I see my kids, typically I call them in my office and I'm like, what happened? Like what's the issue? Because we do these check-in, check-out sheets, and so the teachers are supposed to sign it. It covers academics and it covers just behavior and respect in general. And so the score is based 1 through 4. If they're not doing good, of course they get a 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then so on and so forth. If they're in a 4, if they are doing outstandingly well for the day. And so there's been a couple times where she's come up more than usual in specific classes. And so I've just been trying to explain to her, like, if it's a specific class, like, let's tailor this. I've shadowed her class, all this type of stuff, like what's going on. And so there's just been some things we just haven't been able to figure out. Like, there's some things you just will never know, because anytime you go try to shadow the class, the kids act different, the teacher acts different. It's just the whole thing. And I've explained those things to her, all that. But then there's an area where Tara also feels as if she has to do unto others as it has been done unto her. And it's actually opposite. When we look biblically, it's opposite. But I can't tell everybody, like, you need to follow the Bible, because everybody don't believe the Bible. But I'm like, I do. And so you're not supposed to do unto others as they do unto you, but you're supposed to do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Like, as if they would do something that you want them to do, you're supposed to do that to other people. And she was having an issue with this. And I recognized it because I would observe her at lunch. Like, ask her I would ask her questions like, why do you have to cuss so much? Like, why do you have to cuss in front of these kids? Like, or why are you cussing him out? Like, you just cussed him out in front of my face. Like, there's no inkling of disrespect that you think came across in that. And she like, Miss, you just don't understand. You don't understand, Miss. You don't understand. And it's just like, I don't. You're right. I don't understand. Please help me to understand. Why is it that you can't just speak kindly to people? And something that I've recognized about her too is she becomes a lot more open. She shares a lot more with me when it's just me and her one-on-one. When we're in the lunchroom or something, or she come with a friend, it's just a whole different Tara, a whole different Tara. And so I've had to find myself growing more patient because I'm like, evidently she feels safe with me alone. So that's a good thing. That's a good sign. You got to start pointing out the good things because you might just, I could have easily looked at everything that was going bad. And there was a time and a point where I did. I'm like she just doesn't care. Like, no matter what I say, it's just not going to get through. But there has been times where she's come in my office just to talk, when she has her check-in time, where I'm signing off, seeing what she got in her classes. And, she'll tell me just things that I feel like she kind of has went into about herself, but things that just she doesn't see about herself. And so I would be big on affirming, like, you're beautiful, like, you're smart, like, your teachers actually email me and tell me just how well you're doing on your tests when you guys do assignments in class, when you choose to do them, that you're actually doing well, you're actually a very bright student. And anytime I would speak life into her, she would look down. Like, when I say no eye contact, nothing. She could be telling me about somebody she was finna beat up. She gonna look me dead in my eye. She wanna make sure I'm engaged, paying attention. When I tell you, anytime I speak life into her, anything good. When I say anything, I mean anything good. I could be like, wow, you got an A on that test. And it's like, it's almost like her heart can't receive it, as if it's never been received before. And so, and I've asked her a couple times, like, do you just not believe it? Like, do you not believe any of that stuff about yourself? Do you not believe you're beautiful? And she's told me straight to my face, no, I don't. Like, I don't believe it. And I tell her, I'm like, well, I'm just going to keep telling you this until you do believe it. And something that I was able to find and discern through that is that most times, and even in my field of work, when you don't necessarily receive something, what you are receiving or what you do end up believing about yourself, you begin to project that onto other people. And so because she didn't have high self-esteem, of course it's easy to cuss somebody out and talk about somebody straight to their face, call them out, call them all types of names, because these are things you do to yourself. These are the very things you do to yourself. If you ever meet somebody who's judgmental, who always has something to say about other people, that's how they are about themselves. They're judgmental about themselves. Like, thank you, Holy Spirit. Because the revelation, like, people who are literally judgmental, like, I never recognized why I didn't like judgmental people so much. Because I'm like, do you ever, like, be in their presence, you feel like, dang, they're going to find something wrong with me. But it's like, the only reason that they can do this to me is because they do this to themselves all day long, day and night, 24/7. This is what they do. This is why they're so good at exerting and giving it to other people. You ever met somebody who's great at giving compliments, who's great at saying good things about people? Because 9 times out of 10, it's been said to them, about them, or they even say it about themselves. Sometimes it's just not that hard to do that. Because it's like, I've heard these things before. Like, yeah, let me just be honest. Let me tell somebody else these things. Because it's something that you've received and something that you've taken on and planted in your heart at that. Like, it's not just something that was just mere words, but you've planted it. So now it's able to flow out of your mouth. And so I could just see just very early on that she just did not believe so many things about herself, because likely she's probably never heard it. I think I did ask her that one time, like, have you ever heard these things? And I just can't remember a yes answer. It's always just been a no. And those things like broke me. And I remember in the beginning, like I would go home crying. Like one time when she was in my office, I was literally like in shambles. I was almost in like full blown tears because I'm like this is crazy. I remember having low self esteem, and I'm like, my mom still told me I was beautiful despite what I was thinking about myself. I still heard the good things. Like she doesn't even seem to be hearing the good things, and then she already thinks low about herself. I was in tears. Tears. Let me tell you, I've had to learn how to control my emotions in this job because some of these stories, I'm like, just get in the car with me. I will figure out how to take care of a teenager. Because some of the stories that these kids endure, and they're just so young, 13, 12, 11, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And my heart aches at it. And when she was telling me all these things, it was just very heartbreaking. We've shed tears together. And then there was this one time recently, like this is the lead up, but I wanted to just paint that so you guys would just kind of have an image of who she is, the things that just like resonate within her heart, and understand how this came to where it came to, which I'm about to go into. So, what was I about to say? One time, something happened in one of her classes, and her teacher had sent her to the office. And it was something that she could have actually done because at this point I've spent time getting to know her. I've seen how she can run her mouth and how she can say things sometimes that just fly off. It just fly out. She don't even know she done said it. It just flies out. And I think I asked her a question that was against, like it wasn't necessarily on her side. Like I was just playing devil's advocate trying to get the other side. And it was just almost like, I don't know if she was having a bad day. It was like a blow up. And it was like, see, this is, you guys never believe me. You guys always take the teacher's side. And I was just, at first I was sitting there, I was like, nobody's taking teacher's side. Like, I'm just asking a question. Like, if I was to genuinely ask a teacher, I was asking another student what happened, like, what would they say happened? And it was just something like that. Because I always try to keep questions to the point where I'm not necessarily blaming, but I just want to know if I'm asking another witness, if I'm asking somebody else, like if somebody else who was there was to tell me the story, how would they give the story? Like I just honestly want to know because if you're saying one thing, teacher's saying one thing, I need to know the middle ground. Who was watching all of this happen? And I just guess she was not having a good day that day and like exploded. And so I was like, well, I'm going to give you a pass back to class. And she just kept like going on. And she was low-key getting crazy with me. And so that was already vexing my spirit because I'm like, hold on. Because I only been nice to you up to this point. And you're about to get crazy with me. And I understood it was her emotions, but at the same time, I'm like, I was expecting to be treated different. I was expected to be seen different in the heat of a teenage middle school girl emotions. Like that's low of me. That's low of me. She doesn't even know how to control emotions. She could have been on her cycle. Who knows what's happening? But it just got crazy, and so I was just like, I'm not about to deal with you talking to me like this because I'm talking to you in a calm manner, and I'm giving you the best respect that I have. So I'm going to write you a pass back to class, and maybe later we can come and talk about this, whatever it is. And she was just like, I don't care. I don't like, she just kept saying, I don't care. That's the thing that was irritating me. She kept saying, I don't care. And I'm like, say I don't care one more time. And it was just making me upset because I think when you're trying to give your everything and somebody's sitting there in your face and saying, I don't care, it's almost like, okay, let me give you nothing. But I know that's not the answer either. Like, I'm wise enough to know that that's not the answer. But it was doing something to the inside of me that almost made me want to withhold everything. So I told her, I was like, come back. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm upset right now, and so I'm not giving you my best. So I want you to come back. Well, maybe we're both more calm, and we can both kind of hash this out and talk about this just in a more clear head. And I wrote her the pass. She ripped the pass up in my face and walked out. I was like, Jesus, be a fence all around me every day. Jesus, I want you to protect me as I travel on this way. Because I know you can. Yes, Lord. I know you will. Yes, Lord, fight this battle. If I be still. That's if I be still. If I be still, you're able to fight it. But if I'm not still, I don't know if you're going to be able to fight this one. But I was doing my best to be still because I was I was having big feelings. Shoot, give me the fidget toys. Give me somebody to talk to. And I think in that moment I think I voice messaged. I couldn't call Monique, but I voice messaged her and I was just like, I think I began to just break down in tears. I was like, I'm giving this girl my best and she's not receiving it. And I'm like, I just don't know how to feel. Like, I'm giving her everything I got, but she is just not receiving it. And so I was like, okay, like, don't. And when he was trying to calm me down, she was like, okay, you're crying way too hard right now. Like, I was, the angry cry. And you can't control it almost. But I shut my doors, like, nobody was seeing me or anything. And I was just like, I was low-key perplexed that whole day. Because I'm like, why did I let this, like rile me up this much? And then, like, even as I was thinking about it, God gave me the revelation, as I was even talking about in the last video, just how much. I'm going to make a whole video of just not relying on him, but just how much I wasn't relying on him in that moment. Because I think we underestimate how much our emotions can tell us where we are with God. And I understand, like, outrageous things happen at times. Like, things are sudden, things happen out of nowhere. But when our emotions go to extremes, like fast, I think it also, it can easily show us who we're submitted to in a moment. Like, are we submitted to ourselves? Is what we want no matter what? Or are we still submitted to the God we say is Lord over our lives? Like, are we still submitted to him? And I think when we lose control so easily, it shows us that we're not really submitted to him in that moment. And so, yeah, I could have had my quiet time. I'm not really sure on that specific day what it looked like. I'm not sure what I did. I don't know if I did out of routine. But whatever it was, I knew that I wasn't submitted to God. And I was like, I know that God has told me that I'm going to need to rely on him more. Like, this job is just a lot more weighty than any other position that I've had, any other group I've had to work with. I know I need him. But it's like, why wasn't I relying on him in that moment? And I don't think at all. I know that in that moment, in my breaking down, like I said, what it showed me was how far actually I was from him. It showed me more than anything the simple fact that I hadn't let God show up as God in each kid that I interacted with. There were some kids that I felt like I could take on by myself. There are other kids where it was easy to send up a prayer because I definitely couldn't do anything. But then there were kids like Tara that I was just like, let me try to put my hand in it. Let me try to put my hand on it. God's gracing me to do this. I think I got it from here. She can't be that hard. She can't be that much. Like, let me do it. And I forsook the opportunity to let God in on it, to show me what his hand could do over my hand. And that's a scary place to be. To leaning on my own understanding. That's actually the scripture that I had. Proverbs 3. You guys, it's very familiar. If you guys have heard a scripture before, Proverbs 3, 5 through 6 is probably one of them. And it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. Dang, I ain't even go on. Verse 7, it says, don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Then you will have healing for your body and strength for your bones. When I tell you, when I got done talking to her that day, I felt completely depleted. Like, I almost felt like I couldn't talk to nobody else for the rest of the day. Because it's like, dang, I gave it everything I had. And it still ended up in shambles. And I didn't understand it. And I'm just like, I can't now. Like, I don't understand, God. What do you want from me? He's like, to trust me. Trust in me with all of your heart. Don't lean on what you know. What you know is limited. You know nothing about this girl except what she told you. What about the deep things that I want to show you about her, but because you're only taking what you know about her and fixating and making your own ideals, you now can't even see and discern the very things I'm trying to show you and let you be sensitive to and allow you to discern so that you can give her something that other people can't give her. But you can't give her anything if you're not connected to me who knows everything. Like what? Like, and it made perfect sense. It made perfect sense. And I think I was at church testifying about it, and it just made me realize, like, we have to be grateful even for these opportunities. Like, despite how hard I was crying, how upset I was in that moment, it was so much God was showing to me and revealing to me beyond that moment that has helped me with every other kid I've encountered since. Because it's like, it's not even about you, Kiana. So the fact that you think you have some type of ultimate strength and power to transform somebody's life is prideful of you. It's very, very prideful of you. Like I said, I'll make a whole other video on this, just this topic in general and the things that God revealed to me on this, and then relying in myself. But it was like blasphemous for me to think of such a thing. And I think once recognizing it and coming to the place where I was just like, okay, God, I'm going to trust you. He was like, okay, let's see if you're really going to trust me. And he gave me another opportunity a week later with Tara, and she came in my office, and I was like, whew, I was like, Jesus, because it was like PTSD. I went back to that moment. I was like, what if it's like this again? Like, how many times are we going to go through this? But it was an opportunity to say, okay, you said you were going to trust me. Let's see if you really do it. And I immediately in that moment, I said a prayer, and I'm like, I need you. Like, I need you to come in. I need you to word my mouth, and I need your spirit to speak from a place that I don't even understand or comprehend. Like, I need you. I need you. I know I need you. Like, I'm not even about to try to fight it and say, let me handle it at first. I need you now. Immediately at the start of this, I need you now. And so I believe in that moment he heard my prayer, and the conversation we had, it's almost as if every wall was torn down because of my willingness to be sensitive to the Spirit. Every wall that was within Tara was torn down, and I seen a side of her that I never seen before. She was sharing things she's never shared. Things that, of course, once I was humble enough to receive and not thinking it was about me, that God was able to give me, and I was able to then discern. But she began to share those things that I was discerning, and which also felt good, because it's great to know that when you discern something that you're not crazy in it, that it's like, okay, dang, maybe God really did give this to me. It just feels good. And not to say you should live based on the feel good, because everything might not come like that. But I think that God will always confirm and reveal things in the way that he's given it to you, maybe in your own heart or in your own mind, to let you know, like, hey, it is me. It is me. Don't get it confused. It's me. It's not you. It's me. And so as she was just sharing those things, once she left out of there, I think I even cried again, because I was just like God, you showed up. Like, when I say he's an on-time God, he's an on-time God. Like, he ain't one to play with. He's the real deal. He's an on-time God for real. And I witnessed him in that moment through her life. And she'll probably never even know or see this. Who knows? But one thing that I do know is that God will do whatever he needs to do. He will use whatever he needs to use to get through to those places in us that are still built up with so much pride and arrogance and just bitterness. There's so many things that God has to break through, and he will use the things you least expect, the people you least expect. Like, I'm expecting, like, a close friend, best friend, but you're never thinking that it's going to be one of your students. And especially a student that you think that you got it all together. Like, that I got this. I've handled these kind before. Like, I got this. You never think he's going to use that person. But that is the very person he will use, because he wants to show you who's really in control. Who really has the final say. Who's really going to get the last word. Who really is the author and the finisher. He wants to show you. And I'm so grateful that he showed me in that moment. And so, yeah, I just really hope that was encouraging. I feel like it was long for no reason, but I feel like I had to get to a point for y'all to get the point. And so, like wherever you're at in your life, like lay down you. Lay down you. Stop thinking that you just excel so well at everything and certain things that you don't need a God to do it. The true and living God to do it. Like don't do it. Don't. I promise you'll hate yourself for it. You'll hate yourself for thinking that you can be God. You really will. So yeah, I can't wait. I definitely got to give y'all that video about the revelation on that one because it was just insane. But yeah, that was just a quick little story time, like learning experience and my own personal walk. But like I said, I'm gonna expound more on that because that's just been, it's been a rocker for me. It's been a rocker. But I love y'all. I won't keep y'all any longer. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Please comment if y'all have any tips, any encouragement, any scriptures. Like, please feel free to comment. Feel free to DM on Raw Roundtable's Instagram, which is literally Raw Roundtable. My personal, you're more than welcome to reach out to me on there. But yes, as I already said, I love you guys, and I will see y'all in the next episode.